Call to order, please. First on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Mr. Adams is not here tonight, so Eldon, would you be so kind as to lead us in the invocation?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow a moment. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your goodness to each and every one of us. We thank you for every family represented, every official represented. We thank you, Lord, that you've called us to these capacities to operate and cooperate with one another in decisions of the city. Help us, Lord, to realize that you are the watchman over our city, that we look to you for guidance, direction, and protection. Pray that you'd bless each one in attendance. Help us conduct us in a way that would dignify you, dear Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Kamala Lamons.
Here.
Jerry Foley.
Here.
Eric Shine.
Here.
Darren Brock.
Here.
Keith Williams.
Here.
Carol Harmon. Here. Marty Latham.
Here.
Paula Allred.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and that contains the Lowell City Council minutes from the regular meeting August 21, 2007. Are there any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Jerry Foley.
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
Keith Williams.
Yes.
Kamala Lamons.
Yes.
Paula Allred.
Yes.
Carol Harmon.
Yes.
Marty Latham.
Yes.
We have two items to enter into a motion to amend the agenda. One of them is item H, an ordinance transferring administration of the retirement coverage for eligible members of the Lowell Fire Prevention and Relief Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System in accordance with ACA 24-11-804 as amended, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Lafayette. The other item is item I on the next page, an ordinance to waive competitive bidding as it relates to the emergency repair of the Honeysuckle Bridge. I'll entertain a motion to add these two items to the agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Marty Latham.
Yes.
Carol Harmon.
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
Keith Williams.
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Paula Allred.
Yes.
Kamala Lamons.
Yes.
Jerry Foley.
Yes.
Public forum is next. Mark Rockwell. Mark, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Long. As you see tonight, I didn't wear a hat. Sorry, last time I wore a hat, didn't know. I have the list of EPA people that you wanted. Everything going from the national EPA to federal EPA. I'm here about the mosquitoes and flies in the community of Sabre Heights. It's been a big-time problem, and I guess I'm just here to find out what's going on and what's being done about it. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I complained about my son being eaten up by mosquitoes. We just moved in November, and it's unreal and horrid. And I have pictures too. You could take pictures of the open sky after rain and you zoom in, there's almost all mosquitoes. And I could provide that for people. This last rain that we had, I could provide video of it. Just kind of looks like snow flurries, and it's mosquitoes, and it's a serious problem.
Today we met with the mosquito fogging company
Yeah.
to look into buying a fogger for the city. Today I wrote a memo to the City Council and the Utilities Committee asking for a workshop or work session of the Council and Utilities Committee on September 13, 2007, 5:30 for discussion of the Sabre Heights, Daisy Circle, sewer problems, Zion Road, and Billy Acres water problems. They will be discussed at that time by the Council and the Utilities Commission.
Okay. Can I come?
You
To that.
can come, but the public is not allowed to speak at work sessions.
Okay. Work session. And also, sir, there's a ditch in the middle of our subdivision that the grass is about 3 foot tall. I have pictures of that also, with standing water, which is great environment for harboring and producing more mosquitoes. What is being done about that?
I think, isn't that where the AT&T utility lines are? They're on the ground, and they've been notified to get them out of there, and there's nothing we can do until they get their lines buried. There's AT&T lines and Cox Cable exposed, and there's nothing the city can do until they move their lines. They have been notified to move them.
Is there any timeline?
You wait on AT&T as long as we do? No, I can't answer that question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Next item on the agenda, excuse me. Anyone else want to speak in the public forum? Next item on the agenda is committee reports. Parks, Recreation, and Special Events.
We haven't met yet.
Utilities Committee.
We met last week, and we just basically went over all the current projects. We received updates on the Puppa Creek, and that is 90% complete. There's 700 more feet to go. Everything's looking good on that. Zion Road, we got an update. Actually, there was no update on that. Billy Acres, everything is going good on that. Daisy Circle, Sabre Heights. We found out what Regional Sewer is doing with John Rasnick. We just received updates on all the current projects. Nothing was decided. Nothing came about from the meeting. We got a long way ahead of us.
Streets and Sidewalks. Ordinance Committee.
We did not meet on the ordinance committee.
Personnel Committee has not met. Finance Committee has not met.
Mr.
There's
Mayor,
no-
did we skip item number 6?
Is that what it is? I'm sorry. The Stagecoach Report. Tom, you want to bring us up to date on the Stagecoach?
We were contacted by, opposing counsel and I were contacted by the circuit court judge that has this case a couple of times last week. We had a telephone conference on Thursday morning in which he, because of the filings that have occurred since we filed our petition to recover the property, he reset that petition hearing and consolidated into a trial on the merits of the counterclaim as well as our claims. September 24th, Mayor? 25th. So that's where we'll be on the 25th.
We have no old business. We'll go into our new business. Item A, an ordinance amending the City of Lowell Code of Ordinances, Section 8102, by rezoning certain lands from residential RA to commercial C. Burrell Baker. Michael?
Good evening. This came before the Planning Commission last month. At our last meeting, I'm trying to remember the date. That's why I was pausing. Anyway, there was one person spoke in opposition. They passed this unanimously for the people that were here, and there really weren't any concerns from the commission that were brought up. There was some confusion about exactly what properties were involved. So what I told them is we'd go on the property or on the legal descriptions, and that's what we've done. So the vicinity map matches the property descriptions, the legal descriptions.
Mike, is there like 12 pieces of property here, 11?
Something like that, yeah.
Hey, Mike, pretty much the majority of all this has already been commercial and been operating that before the city annexed them in, correct?
No. It was agricultural when we annexed them in. And then it was changed when we changed our zoning designations and did away with agricultural. It was changed to residential A.
No, I don't mean the zoning. I mean the use of the property. There was already businesses established there beforehand.
Yeah, maybe.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. There was, like I say, there were no opposition. So.
How many of these parcels are in the overlay district? Are most of them?
I believe most of them are. I looked one teeth, and I think it's just the ones on the front. I think the back half of the properties are not.
Okay. And there was no plans. They didn't have any.
Yeah, there were no plans. They just simply, as Eric asked, they all have businesses out there. There's a machine shop and trailer hitch place and some other businesses. So.
Any more comments?
Yeah, Mike, do the businesses that exist there match the commercial zoning, or is there?
Yeah. Okay. They do. But they would still be allowed to continue that as a non-conforming use.
They were businesses whenever we annexed them.
Right. I mean, like I say, I'm not sure all what was out there when we did that, but yes, I believe so. Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and place on third and final reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Marty Latham.
Yes.
An ordinance amending the City of Lowell Code of Ordinances, Section 8102, by rezoning certain lands from residential RA to commercial C. I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Marty Latham.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 803.
Item B, an ordinance amending the City of Lowell Code of Ordinances, Section 8-102, by rezoning certain lands from residential RA to commercial RO. Cannon.
Did everybody get the vicinity maps for tonight. I'm sorry about the confusion in getting those to y'all, but this is another one. There was no opposition. It was voted on, unanimously passed. The commission, they're right there on Pleasant Grove Road. We passed a similar property. It's either, I believe, just one property down from them last year. We had them retail office. Fits in with the or the future land use plan. I think it's a really good example of an area that was one way 10 or 15 years ago, and it's really evolved. You know, now you have where you used to have homes along there. Now you have a come and go and a bank and a auto zone. And so I do think that this fits in.
Any questions?
Mike, are they planning on leaving existing structure? I know this isn't a large scale, but just kind of curious. Are they going to actually clear off that land, or?
I don't think they have plans at this time. Right now, I think this is more that they're trying to sell it, and it's going to be worth more if they do the rezone before and have it all set up for somebody to be able to come in. So,
Any more questions? I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Pamela Lamons,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
An ordinance amending the City of Lowell Code of Ordinances, Section 8-102, by rezoning certain lands from residential RA to commercial RO. I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Pamela Lamons.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 804.
Next item on the agenda is item C, an ordinance to amend ordinances and city code provisions which regulate sexually oriented businesses in the city of Lowell, Arkansas, and for other purposes, and declaring an emergency.
this is mostly, or it is, a housekeeping item. Basically, when we changed our zoning a year ago, we had a C2 zoning, and that's where we had before listed our sexually oriented businesses were allowed to be in that zone. So when we did away with that C2, we had to come up with another zone that they would be allowed to be in. So, and we also needed to change it to add all our current residential zonings, which didn't exist a year ago. So that's what we've done here. It also, we changed from 300 feet to 1,000 feet to match a state statute, and that's mentioned in the ordinance. So we're just making ourselves to comply with the state, so that we mesh. It's just a housekeeping item.
Michael, you might mention about the federal requirement requires us to provide space.
Right. This is a freedom of speech, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a freedom of speech issue where you can't ban this sort of business in your city. You have to have an area of town that it can exist in. So, as per this ordinance, we've made that the light industrial area.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Jerry Foley.
Yes.
An ordinance to amend ordinances and city code provisions which regulate sexually oriented businesses in the city of Lowell, Arkansas, and for other purposes, and declaring an emergency. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Paula Allred.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 805.
Item number D, a memo to authorize the transfer of unallocated funds for the purpose of paying a legal judgment and executing a replevin bond for same. Tom, do you want to explain this to us, please?
Yes, sir. Had we proceeded on Friday, I think we would have been ordered to receive possession of the coach. It is conceivable that the judge would have asked us to put up a bond that's provided by state law. And so I asked Mary and you, Mayor, to make sure that we had that bond in place so it wouldn't cause us delay and that we could present it to the judge immediately. So she had to, for me, go ahead and purchase that bond. We may still need it at that trial. I'm not sure we will, though, but that's what we had to do that. It was a state law requirement.
This bond has been purchased. Any comments?
Yes, there's a blank on here for the amount of. Do we need to have that filled in before this is?
$3,000. That's the cost of the bond. I'll entertain a motion to approve the appropriation of funds as requested.
Was this $3,000 the cost of the bond or the bond?
Cost of the bond,
How much was the bond?
$30,000.
Carol, that was the extent of the damages he claimed in his counterclaim. I can't tell you what the judge would have set it at, but that was the maximum that we thought reasonably that he would. So that's what we wanted to be prepared.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the appropriation of funds as requested.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
This will be appropriations memo number 04-2007.
Item number E, request by City Clerk Treasurer to be appointed to the Arkansas Municipal League Advisory Council for Public Safety. Any questions? Mary?
On item C, did you mean to do an emergency clause? 'Cause I don't think you voted one for that.
We didn't.
Yeah, we suspended the rules.
We have to vote on it.
Uh-oh,
You just need to ask for a motion.
sorry about that. I'll ask for a motion
I move we approve the
to
emergency.
approve item C, an ordinance to amend ordinances in the city code provision which regulates sexually oriented businesses in the city of Lowell, Arkansas, and for other purposes as declaring an emergency.
I move we approve the emergency clause for ordinance number 805.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Keith Williams.
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Carol Harmon.
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Item number E. Request by City Clerk Treasurer to be appointed to the Arkansas Municipal League Advisory Council for Public Safety. Any comments or questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is the council expected to approve or disapprove of this appointment? Would there be something that prohibits her from accepting this?
I think there's a need for funds to go to this meeting. If you look in your packet, what is that? See, it doesn't have it.
So this is really a request for money, not an
There's a memo in your packet to the City Council dated August the 28th. If I am permitted to accept this council, I would request council approval of use of a city vehicle for transportation and possibly a lodging allowance.
So this is really a request for money, not for approval to take this, accept this appointment?
Marty, I think it's a request for both because the city clerk has exceeded her budget, and in order for her to accept this appointment, it's going to require some expense by the city. There's a memo from me to the council members dated 8/29 in your packet that shows the attendance of each council member and the city clerk and the expenses of each. Now, there is money in the overall budget, travel and training budget, because the council did not use theirs. They have $1,182.08 left. The city clerk has overspent her budget by $186.50. So there's money there if you want to use council money to pay for this appointment and attend the meetings. There's one meeting a year.
She can't accept the appointment if she doesn't have the funds to get there. Don Zimmerman, Executive Director of the Arkansas Municipal League, wouldn't have appointed her if he didn't see that she was fit for the job.
I don't believe that's the issue, Carol.
Is there other conferences that is being held within this budget level here, the $1,182 that's left that needs to be attended by council members or whatever?
I've got a question, actually, looking at these, the breakdown from January and June. Why were the hotel expenses more for the city clerk than the other council members? Was there additional night there that was stayed? at those kind.
These were what was submitted to us for payment, Keith.
Okay. Are they different hotels, or I mean, what was the deal on that?
I think they ended up in 2 or 3 hotels down there that.
What was? I'm sorry.
Whenever we went to Little Rock, Jeanette paid for everybody's room on one credit card.
I don't think she paid for mine.
Well, excluding yours then.
Well, it actually breaks it down right here. If you look, it has I guess there was 4 of you guys that went down there, and all the hotel rooms are broken down. If you look.
Mary, do you want to come forward here?
No, I'm not. I'm just wondering why it was more.
Jeanette had a city clerk's meeting to attend early the next morning, and she went down the day early, had an additional night in the hotel room.
Any additional questions? Excuse me, Jerry, what was your question? I'm sorry.
I notice we have $1,180 some bucks in the conference balance. Do we have to do anything? Is there any more meetings this year?
No, sir.
There's no more meetings. And how many meetings do you say this is per year? 2 more?
The city has historically budgeted 1 meeting per council member. That's for municipal league. 1 per council member and 1 for the clerk. And that's what we did in the 2007 budget.
Does anyone know when the winter meeting is this year?
January.
It'll be January, great.
I guess this appointment, does this put us in? Does this set us up for maybe some grant money on public safety related issues, such as whoever?
I'm not aware of that. And I don't know why it was actually the president. It was actually the president, Mayor Mike Gaskell of Paragould, who's president of the Muni League, appointed me to this. How he got my name and why, I don't know.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion to approve items C or E?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Marty Latham.
Yes.
Item number F, request by City Clerk Treasurer to attend District ACCR-TA meeting in Eureka Springs, October 25 and 26. We do not have an estimate of the cost of that meeting. Here it is. The registration fee is $35, and the one night's lodging is $136.24.
May I make one quick comment?
Yes, please.
Okay. My original request, as I set forth in the memo to the council, my original request was for the registration fee only, but as I pointed out in the pre-agenda meeting, it was discussed that it probably wasn't a good idea for me, cost-effective for me to go up there 2 days in a row and drive round trip twice to Eureka Springs. And so if I was approved to go, I would also ask that you consider possibility of the night's lodging, which is that amount. And as I also pointed out, I would not expect the use of a city vehicle or travel expenses.
This memo that you attach says 101.24 a night.
That's the total lodging plus the registration is $136.24.
Okay. That's the full amount then.
Yeah, that's with the $35.
Yeah, the 89 plus tax is 101.24, and then adding the registration fee would be the 136.24 if both were approved. Otherwise, it's 35 for the registration fee only.
Any comments?
On both of these, you'll provide your own food, and we're just approving
Yes.
lodging and
Yes.
You're approving lodging and the registration fee on both of them.
The seminar in Eureka Springs includes a couple of meals, and also the appointment to the council includes a meal. As I also pointed out in the memo, this is a seminar specifically geared towards small towns and clerks of small towns. First-class cities, but small.
Do I hear a motion to approve the item?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Keith Williams.
Yes.
Item number G, an ordinance amending ordinance number 792, prohibiting careless driving in the city of Lowell, Arkansas, and for other purposes. Joe, do you want to come up and answer any questions the council might have on that?
May I briefly address this, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Tom.
Mayor, I was asked to meet with Chief, the Judge, Clerk, and the prosecutor just about how this ordinance was going so far. It's been in effect for a few months, Chief, maybe?
Yeah, about 2 months.
And after meeting, we made a few adjustments to it, circulated that throughout, and this is the result. It's got some minor adjustments that the court wanted to have in place.
Any questions from the council? Thank you, Joe. I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Paula Allred.
Yes.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 792 prohibiting careless driving in the city of Lowell, Arkansas, and for other purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Jerry Foley.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 806.
Item number H, an ordinance transferring administration and retirement coverage for eligible members of the Lowell Fire Prevention and Relief Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System, LAFIA, in accordance with ACA 24-11-804 as amended, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with LAFIA. Any questions?
What exactly does this ordinance do?
Mary?
At the present time and through the years, we've had two pension funds. We've had the old pension fund, which we have 2 retirees and 2 paid firemen on that, and everybody else is on lap fee. And this year, the state passed a law that anybody that had under 5 members of the old pension plan, that they would have to join in with lap fee, and all the pension, old fire pension money be transferred over into the lap fee account. So we had 4, so we have to transfer all our funds into lap fee. Everybody has to be a lap fee retiree. So this is really mandated by the state. We have to do it if we want to do it or not. So it's just something we have to do.
That being said, I make a motion that we suspend the rules and place this on third and final reading by title only.
Second.
Roll call.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Paula Allred.
Yes.
An ordinance transferred administration of retirement coverage for eligible members of the Lowell Fire Prevention and Relief Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System, LAFIA, in accordance with ACA 24-11-804 as amended, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with LAFIA.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Carol Harmon.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 807.
What is this? I'll entertain a motion to approve the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is an ordinance to waive competitive bidding as it relates to the emergency repair of the Honeysuckle Bridge. Tony?
I've placed photographs that everybody should have in front of them. And what this is a photograph of the Honeysuckle Bridge, which is located just north of Cambridge subdivision. It's about 450 feet of north of Hayden Drive. So that's the location of this, what we call a bridge. This bridge is an old cobblestone wall bridge with a concrete top poured on it. And this project has been in the works for a couple of years now. This project has gone through 2 former city engineers and about 4 different consulting engineers have been on. Due to the rapid deterioration of this bridge, the city has declared this an emergency and asks that the council waive competitive bidding and allow Crossland Construction Company to repair this bridge. The Honeysuckle Bridge project will cost approximately $72,000. Construction will begin on this tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and the road will be closed for 3 days. The original design of this project was in excess of $400,000. It entailed the raising and widening of the street. The city could not afford this project and asked for a redesign of this project just to replace the culverts, and the estimate came back at $175,000. By declaring this an emergency, it has allowed the city to enter into negotiation with Crossland and present to the council tonight that this bridge can get replaced for the amount of a little over $72,000, which is about $103,000 below the cost estimate, previous engineer's cost estimate. Any questions?
Yes, I have a couple.
Questions?
Tony, what exactly are they going to do to repair the bridge?
Okay, previously the city has the culverts, the 4x6 box culverts. They're already purchased. They're sitting at the street department acreage down on Lincoln Street. The Crossland will come in, demo this bridge out, install the culverts in the amount of, I want to say, about 130 feet of linear culverts. They're also going to tie in the drainage to the east side. That's been a problem for Mr. Dale Neal. I don't know. He's probably talked to several of you in the past, but it fixes that problem also. So this is Crossland was able to, we negotiated with Crossland, and the reason it was Crossland is because the city receives SOQs from construction companies, and we treat those as professionals, just like engineers and architects. And at the time, Crossland was the only one qualified. I didn't have a choice. The city didn't have a choice but to accept Crossland's SOQs. So with that being done, or with that being the only one available, we went into contract negotiation with Crossland. And that's why we're asking for a waiving of competitive bidding. And also, like I said, we've negotiated, I think, an outstanding price. Not just a very good, but an outstanding.
My question is this, we're 400,000. Now we went to 175,000. Now we're down to 75,000. Now what the hell are we going to get for the 75,000 bucks? Now that's what I want to know. Okay. We're looking at, I don't want to be. We're looking at right now. We're down to. You're talking a considerable amount of money. I'm just kind of wondering how can you drop a bid from 175,000 and save 103 and get the same job done? It just it don't sound right for some reason to me. Maybe I'm out of line, but I need to know.
I understand. That's a good question.
I just need to know what are we not getting for the 103,000 bucks, I guess.
Okay. What you're not getting for the 400,000 bucks, you're not getting the road raised approximately 5 feet or so.
And I understand that,
Now, the 175,000 was the engineering cost estimate that was presented to us by Benham Companies, approved by our former city engineer as a, quote, legitimate cost. Okay, what we said to Crossland is, what do we need to get this thing fixed and get it fixed right? What we're getting is the drainage on the east side of this completed. Okay, that's the drainage that comes across Mr. Dale Neal's driveway. We're replacing his driveway. Okay, we're taking into account by Mr. Nichols' house. There's an 18-inch culvert pipe that comes in from the Cambridge subdivision.
Correct.
The culvert pipe will be cored. The 18-inch will be tied into that at that point on the west side. There will be a hand-poured box on the east side of the road that will entail a 36-inch culvert pipe that will begin at Mr. Dale Neal's property line to the south, and it will catch that water from the subdivision that he's been having so much problem with, and it also tops his driveway. Not only tops the road, but also gets into Honeysuckle Road. So the drainage problem on the east is going to be solved. The The drainage problem on the west is going to be continue. I mean, there was not a problem there, but it will be encompassed in this. This will be in completely enclosed structured box. There are no cobblestone walls. There's no concrete, independently concrete top that's going to be poured. These are AHTD structurally approved culverts.
How wide? How wide is this?
4 by 6.
No, I'm talking about how wide is this road going to be when we get
The road will be widened to 24 feet.
And I assume that's wide enough for sidewalks and.
No, sir. This is not going to entail sidewalks or anything. No, sir.
What do we do down the road as we develop through there? There's a new highway coming in up there on the corner, just just short distance up there. That's coming across from Highway 71, and that's how far is that? 50, 60 yards up there. And we got no way to get across that bridge for pedestrians.
The length of this bridge, the culvert that we're spending, will accommodate a 30-foot wide road with sidewalks on both sides.
Oh, I see, but we're only going to do part of it for right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we have room for expansion in the future without causing a bunch of grief and more cost, is what I'm saying. Huge cost down the road to the city.
That's correct.
Okay.
How much is this going to cost?
$72,097.
As opposed to the $125,000 that is written.
$175,000 engineering estimate.
Well, this ordinance has $125,000.
Okay, these numbers are the numbers when the street superintendent came to me last week after the last rain we had. He said, I feel this is an unsafe bridge. Come check it out and see if you agree or disagree. So now we've got an emergency situation. I've got to get a bridge replaced. Okay, at the time, these final numbers did not come in to me until 5 o'clock today. Mr. Kicklock had to have a guesstimate for the prices. And
So I can change the $125,000 to 72. That's my question.
No, ma'am. I'm asking for the number not to exceed 125. The reason why is because that's a contingency fee, and if we run into a utility, hopefully we don't. The utilities are supposed to be relocated on this project already. But Keith can attest in the construction industry, you've got to allow for it. This is not a there's no contingencies in here if something goes wrong in the project.
I can certainly, personally, I've lived there 28 years in the front of that place, so and I've inspected it hundreds and hundreds of times. And my greatest worry is that we get it done safe. That it's safe and it will not cost us money, huge amount of money down the road, okay, that it can be improved upon without.
Jerry, I think that will be accomplished. The culvert will be wide enough at a later date if the city has the funds to widen Honeysuckle and raise it up. We will not have to go back.
That's what I want to hear.
What you're experiencing here, this is a new way for the city of Lowell to handle projects and not put out the engineer's estimate and tell all the bidders, here's what the engineer's estimate is, and you come in with the lowest bids. This method of handling city projects, which is totally legal, is new to the city of Lowell, and it does represent considerable savings. That's why we went this route on it, because that bridge has to be fixed because the school bus.
Well, I've said that for the last 20 years, so I don't have any problem with that. I've worried about the whole thing for more than 20 years. So, I mean, I got more pictures of that thing than you can believe. But at the same time, at the 125,000. I mean, when you talk about 175, and now we're talking about 75. I can certainly believe that 125, and I wouldn't have any problem. It's just not to exceed the 125. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I just don't want to see us go in there and get caught in a bind. We don't have enough money to complete what we need.
We got a budgeted amount of 175 in this year's budget.
Okay, I understand. So, And I certainly know the city, they blew smoke for many years and talked to a lot of people around there that they were going to dump $500,000 to $1 million into that, and I knew that was never going to happen. That was promises made and a deal. And but I also would like to see it done properly. And we could do it on the Jeep, but I want to see it done properly. So I would certainly agree that $125,000 that you request in the ordinance would be approved.
Tony, the $72,000 figure, that's the low end?
No, that is Crossland's estimate of the bid with, it's basically their scope of work of what Crossland representative negotiated with the city. This is our scope of work. We agreed. They came back with this price.
73,000.
Yes.
Or $72,100.
Correct. Now the city is partnering up with them to save additional cost on the backfilling of the materials. We've got an abundance of dirt in the park, and also we're going to utilize the spoils of the dirt here where we can to fill in voids. Nothing naturally structural will be, we'll use the good stuff where we need to, but the stuff that we can, we'll try to salvage the spoils and utilize that for the coverage. Because like I said, altogether you'll have a run of pipe approximately 130 plus feet across the road. I don't know the exact breakout on the east and west side, but that's approximately the linear feet that you've got.
What's the length of this bridge?
Right now it's 20 feet.
What's it going to be?
24 minimum.
24 feet by 30 feet wide, right?
No, it'd be 24 feet wide at a minimum.
24 feet wide.
Correct.
What did you say? Well, it'll go about 30 feet.
No, I said you'll have approximately 130 feet, linear feet of 4x6 culverts from the east to the west. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. Put this,
Please.
I'd like to suspend the rules, place this on third and final reading by title only.
I'll second.
I'd like to ask for an emergency too, please.
Roll call, please.
Does the motion include the emergency?
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons.
Yes.
An ordinance to waive the competitive bidding as it relates to the emergency repair of the Honeysuckle Bridge.
I move to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
This will be ordinance number 808.
I'd like to move to enact the emergency clause.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Kamala Lamons,
Yes.
Jerry Foley,
Yes.
Marty Latham,
Yes.
Paula Allred,
Yes.
Carol Harmon,
Yes.
Keith Williams,
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is setting the committee meetings. Parks, Recreation, and Special Events.
I don't know if we need to set one unless Sean wants us to.
Streets and sidewalks. Oh, they go to Saturday? I'm sorry.
Monday night, 6 o'clock. We want at city admin.
Street and Sidewalk Committee. Personnel Committee, Finance Committee, Ordinance Committee, Utilities Committee. I wrote the council and the Utilities Committee an email today requesting a work session be set for Thursday, September the 13th at 5:30 in the administration building. Do I hear an okay on that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay. September 13th, 5:30. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn.
So moved.
Second. If no objections, a meeting is adjourned.